The first running of the Max Simmons Stakes. Set racing. First of them away, Chrisanova won the start away very quickly. Also Elite One driving up between horses. Shadow Fear. Chrisanova's going to lead them comfortably though. Over on the outside, Almighty Class. A length away behind those. Then Dynamic Miss posted very deep. Pushing up as well as Ripcord and also Petula. Chrisanova's broken open the field. Wiley Girl back with Brave Strike, followed by Red Square a mile from them. And last of all, a lot of good men. Look at the flying filly Chrisanova go. She comes to the 450 and she's flying solo. Coming around the turn, Chrisanova by 6, running second, Shadow Fear. Down on the inside, Elite One. Here comes Almighty Class and Ripcord putting in their runs. Petula behind them. Chrisanova down to the 200. 2 in front, Almighty Class cutting the margin down. Ripcord runs on. Almighty Class has got Chrisanova. Storms up, grabs the lead. Ripcord giving chase, but Almighty Class comes back with an almighty win in the Max Simmons Stakes. Almighty Class beat Ripcord. Chrisanova or Petula for third, and a lot of good men. An eye catcher from the tail. Elite One in behind them. Shadow Fear, Brave Strike, a gap. Wiley Girl back in the field with Red Square, and a distant last, Dynamic Miss. Almighty Class, an apt winner for an aptly named race. Number 6, Almighty Class, Jarodnowski, 850 into 550. Punters have found the horse they wanted in the Max Simmons Stakes. The Playing God gelding for Mitch Pateman, coming off an outstanding trial recently and has delivered in a very hotly run 1058.04. Chrisanova had them absolutely scarping. Almighty Class travelled up so well. Had Chrisanova inside the last 150, Ripcord in pursuit. And behind those, running on as well, Petula. It's 6, 1, 10, 11, the interim numbers. 6, 1, 10 and 11, a length and a half by 1. And the last 600, 33.97. From My Classy Lady, Almighty Class, owned by Miss C. Williamson, C. Hunter, T. Black, T. Hodge, K. Hodge, D. Tucker, T. Hodge, R. Pearson, A. Alari, J. Jenkin, R. McIntosh, and C. Askevold McDonald, prepared by Mitchell Pateman and ridden by Jarodnowski, with a super victory in the inaugural Max Simmons Stakes. And clearly a very delighted Jarodnowski as well. And the punters expressed their confidence backing this winner from 850 into 550. Second placing, Ripcord by written by from Single in London, Luke Fernie, Chris Parnham. Third going to Chrisanova. Blisteringly fast filly by Bondi from All Fried Up, Trevor Andrews, Sean McGruddy, and Petula was fourth home. So there it was, Almighty Class winning first up impressively. The last event, the Furphy Handicap over 1200, 3 Multiverse, 8 Saloon Bar and 13 Catch the Red Eye of the Scratchings. Final event scheduled for 5:41. Lockie Taylor's with us now downstairs in the enclosure, and punters certainly have found the right horse in the feature event this afternoon. It was the one they backed and the one that has delivered.
They certainly did, Darren. He was around 9 or 8 into 550. Punters didn't forget to back this horse, Almighty Class, despite being a maiden. Winning trainer Mitch Pateman joins me now. Mitch, you had a big rap on this horse. He didn't produce for you throughout the winter, but that was a special win.
Yeah, mate, I've got a lot of faith in him. He's a beast. Like, you just got to look at him, and for a 3-year-old, he looks like a 6-year-old, and he's shown us a lot from day one. And yeah, I had egg on my face after his first start, but he come back just as good, and yeah, he's a pleasure to train.
Coming into today, you obviously had the option of going to a maiden. He would have started $1.50 at Northam if you went that way. What guided you in starting him in the Max Simmons Stakes first up? Because we knew it was going to be a hot race.
I just got a lot of faith in him. I've always thought that his ability level was this sort of grade, and I thought take him to a maiden, as stupid as it'll sound, I reckon he could have got himself beat. Like, he just does a few things wrong. I knew we'd get tempo here, and yeah, that's the main reason I come here, because I knew I'd get tempo. He'd have no choice but to relax, and you've seen then when he does relax, he's got an almighty turn of foot.
He relaxed, and he also travelled incredibly strongly into the home corner, then let down with a turn of foot. Coming into today, Did you have plans to eventually step him out into a Burgess Faritha and then a Guineas, maybe even a Kingston Town or a Northerly as it is now? Did that surprise you? Is he perhaps a short course horse and he's better kept suited and aimed at a Placid Arc?
It'll hurt me to say it because I took 101 in the Northerly, but it looks that way. I'll definitely go to the 1200 and then we'll get a better guide after that. But yeah, you know, if you do go to a Placid Arc, well then there's, you know, your opportunity at maybe a Winterbottom if he's going well enough. So he's a very, very good horse.
Throughout your career, you're a heavyweight jockey. You know how hard Jared had to do it this week. How proud are you of him to get down to 55 kilos? Scott and I were talking about it. Might have been 4 or 5 years since he last rode at 55, but it speaks volumes of the faith he has in this horse.
Yeah, no, I was having Red Rooster for dinner last night and all I was thinking was, oh, I don't miss riding. I'd hate to be Jared right now. So, no, it's a big effort. Like, he's a tall guy and he hasn't been back riding all that long. So, big effort, but give me a lot of confidence that he wanted to get to 55 to ride him. So, yeah, and he's a superstar. You give him a great steer and, yeah, no, it's a pleasure.
A great result. Well done.
Yeah, and just quickly, obviously, first Max Simmons Classic, and my mum and all my family had a lot of respect for Max, so yeah, great honour to win this race.
Very well said. There's Mitch Pateman after the inaugural running of the Max Simmons Stakes, and here's Jared Noske at the 55 kilos, catching up with Scotty Emery.
Yeah, there's not much of him left, but he's a winner and he's a happy man. Jared, after that trial, I suppose you said to Mitch, I'll go with him wherever you want to go, and then he would have told you, hey, set weights and penalties, 55 first up, how are you going to go with that?
Could have been worse, could have been 54, so that's all right.
How did the week look for you?
Yeah, I obviously had a bit of notice, so that was okay. Yeah, it wasn't the most enjoyable week, but I thought it would be worthwhile, and it was.
I can see why, because it didn't really look to matter how fast Chrisanova was going to go. He just travelled so beautifully.
Yeah, it sounds she was, you know, eight or so lengths in front of me, and all I could think about was don't get it to her too early. So, you know, it's a nice problem to be thinking of.
Probably starting to think at the 600, anything from behind me is going to need to be good to run me down.
Oh, definitely. The feel he gives you just gives you a lot of confidence.
What sort of distance ranges does he give you the impression that's going to get the best of him?
I'm hoping he can just switch off a bit more with each run and get out to a mile for the Guineas. If he does, he's going to be pretty lethal.
Is that the end of the day for you, or did the manager get you one in the last?
I'm on one in the last. I couldn't really say no to it, so...
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
There's Jared Noske, a satisfying win, I'm sure, getting down to the 55 kilos to win the Max Simmons Stakes aboard a mighty class, combining with Mitch Pateman. What a win, what a horse. Exciting to see where he goes to next.
One more time.